Hello and welcome to another episode of No Load Time. My name is Obed Velez, and with me is the most interesting man in the world, Joel Young.
What's good? No load time. Obed, good to be with you. New episode, second time for 2025. Let's do it.
Yeah, we are here. We are live. Let's do it, sir. How are you, man?
I'm doing pretty good. I will say, I think in general, we started off last week with a really, really solid episode talking about Topsy Nintendo Switch 2. If you guys missed that, make sure you go back and check that episode out. I feel like we've had a little bit of a normalish week. I'm looking forward to booking my tickets. Got setting it up, I think, from this week, so I'll probably have an update for you guys next week. But I'm looking forward to booking my tickets for Cap. I know we talked about a little bit last week and the rumors of it being supposedly not that good, unfortunately. But regardless, I'll still go out and check it out. So February will be here before we know it. Not rushing time. But yeah, looking forward to booking tickets for Captain America: Brave New World, and really just getting back into the gaming scene. I think there's a few games I need to get back into. Play a little more Rivals recently.
Okay.
It's still good. I think we're gonna need to play it again on the
Yeah,
podcast.
like
I
yeah,
talked
we can
about it
we can
soon
probably
enough.
jump. We can if next week's a slow news week, we can probably
Yeah,
jump and do rivals. Yeah, and just
I think
talk about
so. I
random
think so.
stuff. Yeah, that works for me,
I
man.
think so too. And we have a news story on Rivals that we'll talk about in a bit here as well. But outside of that, man, yeah, not too much really to dive into. I'll throw it back over to you. I'm sure you've got some cool stuff that you've been watching, playing, doing.
Yeah, yeah, still have my backlog, so still working on that. And only thing of note, um, I didn't update you guys last week on Dragon Ball Daima. That is still very good. Episode 15 came out today, so I'll check that out tomorrow. And yeah, we got 4 episodes left, so it's a 20 episode engagement. So February 29th is the last episode they announced on um, online. So Crunchyroll is going to be available on that day. And yeah, man, so far I'm really enjoying the show. It's fun. I'll rewatch it dubbed when they when that's done. I know that there's some controversy behind that, but I'm not really gonna go into that. I did watch the first episode of the Castlevania Nocturne that came back last week. So again, very good. That Castlevania, the first 3 seasons of the first 3 seasons were great. Nocturne was great. Man, I like they. Okay, so Nocturne season 1, so what it would last year or whenever that came out. Yeah, I had some like animation, it was pretty good and all that. Dude, like this is like top tier. Like this
Wow.
episode is like wow, like money. Like you can
Wow.
tell that they doubled down, they made that investment, and it shows. So it's very good. I'm gonna watch the rest of it for sure. Looking forward to that Devil May Cry show that got announced. Like I think around the holidays. I didn't talk about it when I was when we were out, or maybe we recorded and I missed it or something. But looking forward to that. Um, and Joel, you mentioned that you were watching the show on Prime, the gaming show. I forgot the name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it Amazing
Secret.
Story? Amazing Stories.
Secret level. Secret
Secret
level.
level. Yeah.
Yeah, they're only like maybe 15, 20
10
minutes
minutes
max.
long.
Not
Yeah,
even.
they're like 10 minute
Yeah.
long. Yeah.
Yeah,
I watched
they're
that Mega
good
Man one. That was really good.
for sure.
I really, really like that one.
And in the way that I will say that the way that they are cut, it very much like they're telling you like these are cutscenes essentially. Like the way it's like
Kinda,
set up,
yeah. Yeah.
like a cutscenes that in that same spirit and style of it rather for each of these different games. But still, I mean, they're their own stories
Yeah.
and they kind of end off on their own little cliffhangers that are cool. And I wouldn't be surprised they do another season of this because it seems to be some very positive reaction to it.
Yeah, yeah. For the most part, they've been all really good. I mean, the only one that I specifically went and looked for the Mega Man one because that's the one I want to watch. But
Yeah.
I'm really curious, and I'm gonna go back and look for the Concord one. I'm gonna go,
Yeah,
since
I
we're gonna
can't
talk
believe
about
that they
Concord
did
tonight.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
can't
that
believe they did that one.
isn't that crazy, right? The game
I
got
know.
like canned before the thing even came out.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's very strange, man. But yeah, and I know that I'm missing something else. Oh yeah, so we didn't get the chance to go to see Otaku last year because it was on December like 20th or something, right? It's like
Yeah,
right before
holidays.
Christmas. We were
Yeah.
still busy with work and then prepping for the holidays, so we didn't get a chance to go. Um, it looks to me right, and I could be wrong, Joel, because but this is based on what I saw on YouTube. Because I went back and I was like, oh, I didn't watch what happened. Didn't see what happened at CO Taco. I'm gonna go to YouTube and go to the CO channel and see what's up. It looks like the date affected attendance. It was, yeah. It looks like there
I
was
could see
not
that.
as much people as last year when we went. So
Yeah, I could see that. We've traditionally gone like summer-ish.
September,
And then
early
like yeah,
September,
like
yeah.
you're early September. Yeah, so you're still kind of going closer to the fall. I weird timing, and I also just feel like when we went, it seemed to be that there was also some tourism around it as well. Like people who go to these types of events that maybe not weren't from Florida that decided to kind of make that a
Right.
part of their trip here. If you do it around the holidays, it's going to affect that too.
So and here's the thing, right? That was an awful week to do, and I there could have been logistics
Yeah,
issues and whatnot, like right.
totally.
I'm not saying that there's that it's that's Javeli's fault or or anyone's fault, right? But historically, if you live in Central Florida, if you lived here long enough, you know that December 20th to January 1st, there's a good reason why they call it Hell Week in Florida. Because there's no space. Everything is sold out. Like no hotels. There everything's gone for the holidays, right?
Right.
People are at the
Right.
theme parks. They want to be here for the rest of the year. Everything's sold out. It's terrible. So, like pro tip, right? If you come to like right now, right now it's great. Even
Oh
though a lot
yeah.
of people are complaining about the weather, I'm not. I'm really enjoying it because this is great. This is different. So I love it.
Rare.
Um, so if you come to Central Florida in late December, I guarantee that you will not have a good time because traffic is terrible. Stay away from the tourist areas. If you go visit family like in East Orlando or like north of Orlando, you're gonna be good. But once you get down to like iDrive and Kirkman and Disney, I'm sorry, it's you're in for a rough time because it's just. I'm not saying it's rough, right? It's just that the traffic and foot traffic because there's like a lot of people like walking and so it's a lot of people that come here.
Yeah.
So I think that probably affected the attendance in the event because hotel rates are like crazy during those dates. So you get this like guys, coming in from other states that fly down for the event and can't afford a hotel. So that's a possibility, right? I did see that the event went through pretty smooth, but unfortunately, attendance, from what I saw, right, I could be wrong. I wasn't there, but from pictures I saw, videos I saw, they they were not as much people. So we're hoping that they can go back to their regular schedule next year or this year, I should say, and maybe we can go out to their big event in summer, Joel, because we're probably gonna have time to check that out. So hopefully we can go
Sure.
there and document it, and unless as long as it doesn't interfere with Joel's Comic Con plans, we should be good.
Yeah. Yeah. No, very, very true. Yeah. Well, I'm hopeful too that they get some good dates set up for this year, and we'll be able to make it out and have a good time. And yeah, but I'm glad you gave that update because I did not see anything around turnout or how it just overall went. I'm sure it was a good time
Yeah.
regardless,
I
but
was gonna talk about it
hopeful that
last
they
week, but
get a
we
date we
had
can
to.
go.
Yeah, I was
Oh
gonna talk
yeah,
about it
we have a
last
lot
week,
of
but we
talk.
had so much that I was like, you
Yeah.
know what? I'm just gonna save it until for an episode where we don't have too much going on. Well, we do have stuff.
For
Um,
sure.
but yeah, man. I'm looking forward to jumping back into Castlevania and wrapping up Daima, and I still gotta go back to Penguin and all that. So I didn't follow through with that. Like I mentioned last week, I was in bed for 2 days during the holidays. I was like, I didn't watch anything.
Unfortunately.
So, oh man, and I've been busy with other personal projects that I've been trying to take care of. So as soon I will probably share that whenever that's completed. So yeah,
Sounds good.
cool. All right, man. Where do you want to start with this thing? You want to start with Star Wars? Let's do that. Since basically
Sure.
the rest is gaming. So we talked. I think it was like right before we went on the holiday break that um Sean Levy is allegedly attached to a Star Wars project that is was giving the green light, and allegedly this thing is one of the things that is going to happen. And now there is a big name actor attached to the project. So rumor is that Ryan Gosling is attached to this Star Wars project. I think, Joel, if true, a big if true, as they say. So, what do you think, man?
Yeah, this is a sign that this project is actually moving forward because once you start getting stars attached to projects with directors, that must mean that there's a significant progress on a script, if not already completed. And that obviously means when you get like an A-lister like this to sign on, that also means that there's a sign of good faith around that this project is being respected. Because let's be completely frank, we've had a lot of conversations around Star Wars projects over the last 5 years at least, ever since Rise of Skywalker, for specifically on the film side. This guy is directing. This one's a rumor. This project here, and then we talk about the stuff that they talk about Celebration, and then we talk about the stuff that they didn't talk about Celebration when they came back again,
Right.
that could be dead and whatever. Um, and then like we had this conversation right after Deadpool 3 came up of like, hey, look, it seems like Levy is going to be actually making this movie. And I didn't think anyone as good as much as people probably like the work that he has done recently. I still, just because it's a Star Wars project, I still expected a lot of apprehension around people being involved because let's face it, Star Wars has been completely in the negative zone of reviews and commentary when it comes to film. No matter how
Right.
much money's not an issue. People get paid working on these projects. That's not a problem. It's just the problem of like being attached to something that's getting a lot of negative press.
Right.
So clearly, Gosling has a lot of faith in this because I don't think he would join a project like this if he didn't think it was at least good and probably saw a script. But yeah, this absolutely I believe to be true. I mean, this is from the Hollywood Reporter. First of all, we're not taking this from
Right.
any like fan blog or something. Respectfully, I'm just saying like this is from the Hollywood Reporter.
It's,
This is legit. This is an exclusive
it's
that they're
not from
putting
my
out.
zero.
No,
my
yeah,
my arch nemesis. No, it's
all right.
it's funny that's
Yeah.
they never caught up. They've never caught on to us. We're
Right.
too
If they don't pay
small.
attention to us, we don't
We're
pay
too
attention to
small to be
them.
paid
Fine.
attention.
Are we though?
Oh,
Seems
I don't
like they
know,
listen. Feel
man.
like they listen to us. I
People
don't know.
know. I don't know. Yeah, all right.
You
We got
never
we got
know.
an international. We have a consistent international audience. That I could say.
Very
At least
true.
on the audio version, we do. Hey,
That is very
there you
true.
go.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's it. But yeah, I mean, like, outside of that, those details, like, there's nothing else being said about, hey, this is going to be something that is a Jedi story. They said that it's supposedly not connected to the Skywalker saga. It's a standalone. That's fine. That's great. But we really don't know an era of when this is in the Star Wars storyline. We don't know if this is if Gosling is a Jedi or if he's just a pirate or whatever. Like we
Han
don't know.
Solo.
I mean, dude could be a CGI role for what we know, and like we don't even see his face.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, they did it with Lupita. Like, people are like,
Right.
oh, it's a big star, and it's not.
Yeah.
So we don't know. But yeah, man, optimistic about for sure this. Just seeing that there's probably some more activity, and And if this is being actually sped up, who's to say that this replaces your Ray project? Because they have not started filming it.
Ah,
So who's to say this is a slow kind of push into something else where maybe Bob has stepped in and said, let's maybe
yeah.
move this one up instead because this is moving
That's
fast.
interesting. I saw a video. I can't remember who it was from, and they said something that I don't think I mentioned it on the podcast, but I may have mentioned it to you offline
Okay.
that um whenever that you notice that whenever there's um how should I say this, whenever there's a Star Wars project that's connected to the main timeline or the main character line, right? Um, you see like a lot of involvement from KK and Bob and all these other people, right? That get involved with the project. But then when you get other projects, and I'm not calling them smaller projects because they still take a couple $100 million to make. But when you get projects like Andor and Skeleton Crew that are not attached to the main character line of Star Wars, the creators are left alone to do their thing, and and the story seems a lot more cohesive and things make a little bit more sense. So I don't. I mean, again, I don't know what's going on right behind the scenes. I already had a few predictions that came true. When Paycheck was around, and I told you guys like, well, KK is staying and Bob's leaving, and that was exactly what's happening.
Yep.
What happened, a couple of years ago. So, man, it's just that it's very very confusing, and it is also very frustrating to see that um, Disney took the at the time what was the biggest franchise ever and just like made it into like no one cares about this, and it's really unfortunate. One of my favorite things ever, and I'm not saying that they took it away because it's still there, but it's they didn't take it away, but what's its future, right? It's
Oh
the
yeah.
uncertain future, and
Yeah.
us not knowing exactly what are they planning to do? What's after Mando and Grogu, right? We haven't had. It's gonna be 6 years without a movie by the time that movie comes out, and
More 7.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
2026. It's gonna be 2026. And 2019 was the last time we had a movie.
yeah, exactly. So the movie's going out next year. So I don't know. It's frustrating. I'm hoping the Mando movie's good, and I'm sure they're trying to make it the best movie they can. I mean, they're wrapping up. Yeah, go ahead.
Honestly, when once you're set here, have you seen the rumors with Ahsoka season 2?
I saw that they recasted Balin. So
Yes, that got recasted.
yeah.
But dude, there's like it's been consistent from a lot of places saying that Natalie Portman is back and Ian McGregor and Hayden are back for season 2 because we're gonna have a lot of flashbacks to the Clone Wars times. And
Ooh.
but like the Portman one's been kicking like a lot of
I
steam,
saw
a
I
lot
saw
of
Theory
places.
posted a video about it, but I
Yeah,
didn't
dude.
watch it.
Supposedly she's back, and
Interesting.
supposedly Ian is back, like and Hayden are back. All three are back, and the actress who played younger Ahsoka as well, back
Okay.
for season 2.
Man,
So I believe it.
that'd be
Like a lot of
that'd
Clone
be cool.
Wars flashback.
See, and as Ahsoka, I think the overall Ahsoka was good. It wasn't very good. It was
Yeah.
consistently good. But it wasn't like mind blowing, right? It had mind blowing moments. Like I don't want to compare it with the Rise of Skywalker because I think that Ahsoka as a product it's much more superior than Rise of Skywalker. But it had like more like holy crap moments. It had good lightsaber battles. It had good like force moments. The like Balin was great, right? It was like big shoes to fill, but I heard the actor that's replacing um I forget his name. Is he's pretty good. So I heard he was in Game of Thrones. So man, his name escapes me. The Punisher. Punisher with the Funky
Rory
Punisher movie.
McCain.
Who?
Rory McCain
Rory
is the
McKay.
actor
Okay.
going to be switching for him. Apparently,
Yeah.
he yeah, he's been in Game of Thrones, Gladiator 2, Jumanji.
Yeah, he's been in a
You
few
know,
things, and I heard he's good. So
yeah.
I'm good with that. It seemed like when the announcement was made, you would see the comments. It's like, well, finally, like Disney actually like doing a good job, like recasting someone and all that. Like it seems like fans were like, okay, this good. So
Yeah.
uh,
It's Filoni's baby, so
yeah, man. I'm hoping it's good. I'm looking forward to Andor, dude. Like Andor was great, like season one,
yep.
and so I'm very much looking forward to that. But you gotta get me excited again, man. Like I haven't bought any, like I'm in the downturn when I haven't bought any Star Wars merch in like over a year. Like you gotta do something. I went to Disney
Yep.
Springs over the holidays, and I was like, oh, should I get this coffee, this really cool like Star Wars coffee mug that I have here? It's like because I have like basically like my main two coffee mugs are Star Wars mugs, and so I was like, should I add another one? Complete the trilogy, right? I had a solo, yeah, dude. It's like I was so invested. I had a solo cup. Unfortunately, on
Wow.
morning just
Yeah.
hitting up coffee, it slipped and it broke, but. It's
Oh
it
no.
was it's basically like the life of that coffee mug mirrors the life of the movie, where this is a great coffee mug, really comfortable, big, holds a lot of coffee in it. One morning it slipped and it broke, so yeah, it's basically what happened to that movie, unfortunately. So yeah.
Sorry, that's great. I'm gonna have to clip that for social media. That's
There you go. Create clips on the
that's great.
fly. No cop
Yeah.
cup. The cop cut those. Oh,
It's
oh,
back.
it's
It's back.
it's back. It's back if you had it downloaded. You see all those stuff got
I know.
delisted. Yeah,
I
that's
know.
crazy. My wife told me about it. I didn't know because
Yeah,
I
dude.
mean I've been trying to disconnect as much as I can because it's like even me disconnecting, I'm still like stressing the heck out. So I'm like, you know what? I can deal with that without
Yeah.
all this stuff for a little bit longer. Like I was planning on making a return, right? A big splash, like an actual return. But no. Uh we'll have to wait and see on that. But yeah, nonetheless, I think this is good news if true, big if true, like I said. So yeah, we'll see. I and when you put it in perspective, Kathleen Kennedy's been in charge of Star Wars for 13 years or so. Um, she, I don't wanna sound disrespectful, but just getting up there in age.
Yeah.
So she should I'll probably delegate more on someone with maybe a little bit more energy and a little bit more
Probably the
knowledge
same
of the
actors
franchise.
came through anyways.
Yeah. So yeah, she'll wait and see on that. So I'm hoping that it's um that they're positive games. I'm hoping that Star Wars back. You know what? It's like in the next 5 years, that's my hope. It's like I hope the Star Wars is back. Let's go. Let's do it. So we'll see. Joel, Marvel Rivals, you mentioned that there is some stuff happening. What's going on with that?
Let me pull this up in my news thing.
Oh,
But
dang
yeah,
it.
we've got I got it. Yeah, 6 new Marvel Rivals Heroes League, 5 more X-Men coming to the game. We've got, and I'll run down the list here: Gambit, Rogue, Jubilee, Beast, Nightcrawler, and the Hood. All are on their way, coming through soon, according to some leak that these are going to be coming very soon here to Marvel Rivals. Now, obviously, when you start getting names like this, um, I'm assuming that there's going to be like a huge update to the game soon, like they did their Fantastic Four one,
Right.
which was crazy.
It was very well received too.
Very well
Yeah.
received. I play a little bit of it. Very fun, very cool. I thought it was a great way, and like they don't have to wait. You see, for like, oh, let's wait till May when we're getting closer to this movie. Like, just do it on their own. I think that's something that like Marvel used to do a really good job with, of kind of like foreshadowing things that were, whether it be comic books, whether it be games, other things, where they would kind of foreshadow other projects that maybe they were working on in the larger mainstream media, like saying like, let's just kind of like like get our fans excited about this stuff before
Yeah.
it's like a big blockbuster. And I think that's a great move. So this is interesting because I think like in general, like the X-Men are starting to have a huge revitalization. Clearly X-Men 97 brought a lot of people
Yeah.
to just be in the forefront thinking about these characters more. These are characters that, the way that they'll be playable, at least, like all X-Men characters are gonna be interesting, but I think they chose the right ones for like the starting off with. Because like you could have started off with like Wolverine, and like that would have been like kind of expected. But when it's like, no, like you get to play as like Beast and you get to play as Jubilee, like that's awesome. Like I think those are characters that are also super fan favorites, and like I said, clearly with even 97 and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
like those are characters that are gonna make a more unique gaming experience, because like you don't get to have many games with those guys involved anyways. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Like the X-Men are very well suited for a type of game like this too. So it's like,
Yeah.
you can even like on top of this, you can, I guess at some point we'll see Cyclops, right? And like he would fit perfectly in this type of game too. Like
Right.
long range, attack and whatnot. What's interesting here is that they have Rogue listed as a strategist. She's probably more like a tank, in my opinion.
I
Like,
know it's strength.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, again, this is rumored leaks that are not confirmed, but there's some other rumors out there saying that it's like, hey, they're like purposefully like leaking stuff so people can hype it up and whatnot. So, we'll see. But yeah, the fun game is doing well out there. Yeah, definitely we'll come back to it and take a look at what's new. So, Joe, Microsoft had an event yesterday. They had a developer direct. They
Not too
didn't
bad.
show much, but what they showed was good. And I want to pause here real quick, um, because everyone's like, Xbox is back, Xbox is back. It's like, okay, you guys calm down. Um, I'm going to be brutally honest with you, Joe. As much as I love Ninja Gaiden is not a system seller.
I agree. I agree.
As much as those games are really, really good, or were, because 3 was flaky, but these games are not system sellers. So let's go through it. Right. The big announcement was that Ninja Gaiden 4 is coming out. That one's very interesting because it is Microsoft published. It's a Microsoft published Koei Tecmo game, Team Ninja game, developed by Platinum Games, and coming to PS5. So
Yeah.
there's a lot going on, right? It's like a lot of that's why a lot is like, Xbox is back. It's like, I don't think Xbox is back. I think Game Pass is back because like everything that they announced here is they won Game Pass. So that's what's exciting, right? It's like they have this product that it's an exciting product that if you have, you know, I, in my opinion, they are, that's their big selling point for their console. They should, and I know that they are, looking to expand that product to other places. I made some predictions last week about their handheld. I don't know what's going on with their like next big console. Maybe they'll take that route. Maybe they'll do something in house. I don't know. But we'll see. But yeah, Ninja Gaiden 4 got announced last time. Ninja Gaiden 3 came out. That was a Wii U game, I think. No, Ninja Gaiden 3 came out on PS3 360, and then Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Blade came out on Wii U, and then that came out on 360 and PS3 as a separate game. So yeah, it's been a while. It was funny because a few weeks ago, I want to say like it was probably over the holidays. I was like, oh man, I kind of want to play Ninja Gaiden again, and I actually grabbed because I have Sigma 1 and 2 for PS3, which I guess now they're hard to find for some reason. So, and I was like, oh man, I kind of like want to play Ninja Gaiden 2 because I never finished it in Ninja Master mode. So I kind of want to give it a try again, but I should play it in lower difficulty because I'm too rusty and whatnot. And then I started looking at the collection that was released on everything that's out there. So I think it's $40, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. So there's an itch for that type of game, and I have it. I actually went on the PlayStation app and wishlisted it because it's like I want to keep an eye on this thing for sure. They said October or fall this year. They didn't exactly give it a release date, but it is coming out the end of the year. Ninja Gaiden 2 was a surprise announcement. So Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is a remake of Ninja Gaiden 2. Not a remaster because it's built from the ground up using a new engine. That was shadow dropped, and that came out on everything as well. So it's $50. When I looked it up, I was like, oh, it's $50, man. Like I don't want to. Yeah, it's cool, but I have that game already, and I don't know. So if I see it on a sale, I'll probably grab it, but we'll see. And I think it's cool that those games are back. And that's on top of the announcement that we had at the Game Awards that other like the 2D Ninja Gaiden game that's made by the Blasphemous developer is coming out. So yeah, big year for Ninja Gaiden, man. It's pretty cool. I'm excited. What do you think?
Yeah, I when I saw this information, I'm like, oh, this is positive. This is great. This is cool. I do think though that like to your point, it's kind of sad. This is probably like out of everything we're gonna talk about here from the event, this probably is the big item. I'm not saying that to say that like they needed fireworks. It's just like there's a lot of big things going on in gaming right now. You've got Nintendo throwing their head in the ring with obviously all the news coming around the new Switch this year. PlayStation doesn't have to worry about anything. They're doing just fine. But yeah, I mean, just in general, what I did see from this, I think it will be fine. I think the game's going to be good. I don't think people need to worry about any major issues when this drops. When exactly? It's supposed to be this fall, right?
This fall, yeah.
This year. So I mean, it's a preview for the year. You got a long ways to wait for this thing to come out. So, good news, something good to look forward to. They still got a lot of time working on this, so let's hope that as far as they're in production, it will be just fine.
Yeah, and one thing of note is that I saw everyone saying it's like, oh, platinum games, and you guys got to keep in mind, there was an exodus from platinum. Like Hideki Kamiya is gone. The guy that was the lead for Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance is gone. Like all those top guys, and Mikami has been gone for a while now. So like all these like the old school like Platinum Games guys are mostly gone, and so it is a little bit concerning. It does look like they're following the formula, and if they follow the formula and they stay true to what those games were, I think they'll be fine, right? Because I know that they're more than capable. This game, my understanding is that it's being developed by the remnants of what the Bayonetta team was, which is great, right? So, I'm just cautious a little bit, but I'm excited. So, I'm being itching for one of these, and I was like, yeah, it's cool. So I'll check it out for sure. Another game that despite a lot of I guess the should call it the tension that's out there looks really really good. Is South of Midnight. That game visually striking. The art design on this game is incredible. Um, and it does look like it's gonna be a really good game with like an involved story, and very very creative take on a new type of
Right.
a story, something that's never been done before. It's very different, and it looks very interesting, man. So I gotta give it to them. Like this game looks really really good. So
Yeah.
coming out on Xbox and PC, this coming out April 8th. So I don't know if you had a chance to watch the trailer, but it's really nice looking, man. Really good looking game. The story it's a very unique, it's a very different take, and I'm yeah, sure, I wouldn't mind checking it out on PC. So
Okay.
yeah, very very good
Game
stuff
Game
there.
Pass. Game Pass.
Yeah, it's a Game Pass. Yeah, get Game Pass for PC, and you can start checking them out. Um, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. This one was also confirmed to be out on Xbox, PC, and PS5. It is a turn-based RPG. I don't believe they have a April 24th. They do have a date for it, and I don't know. This looks doesn't look that appealing to me. I don't know what it is. It may be good if it's turn based. If they nail the combat, I think they'll be fine. But I don't know. Something about this game looks really strange. I don't know what it is. So
Yeah, I would say it's not my personal cup of tea. Could be fine, but
yeah,
this style is not doesn't do it for me.
yeah. And I enjoy a good turn based RPG, but I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
There's something about it. I was like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. So
Yeah.
it's weird. But Doom: The Dark Ages looks sick. May 15th. That looks really good. It looks like it's gonna be like a sandbox experience versus the level based, and making it a prequel and making it with like some of like medieval powers and all that. It looks really good, man. These games are fun, and I'm sure that that this one's gonna follow suit, and it's gonna be as good as 2016 and Eternal. So I know that they're gonna be fine. So yeah, man, Xbox having a little signs of life, and yeah, I'm hoping that they do good. I'm hoping that they not only release those games this year and they're all good. I'm hoping that they can uh, expand their horizons, do what they need to do. Right? I know that Activision acquisition, like really, like yeah, like as a vision, right? It makes sense. Um, but it seems like that holy mate in their pockets is starting to create some ripples, and they're ready to make some moves and put their stuff on other platforms. I know summer's going to be really interesting because of the Switch. uh, I know that some of these games are coming out on Switch. Like I don't think like some other like the I don't think like Ninja Gaiden's coming out on Switch necessarily, um but like I know that Doom may, and I know that some of their other stuff like maybe Forza. The rumor is that the Master Chief Collection is coming out um day one on Switch too. So I mean, there's a ton of rumors out there, a lot of speculation. I guess we'll wait and see, man. So
Have you seen numbers, Call of Duty numbers on specifically like Xbox this year?
I have
You
not.
know,
No.
I'm just curious now as I think about it out loud. Just because, like, I'm just gonna say it like it is, man. I'm taking the gloves off for a minute.
Okay.
Let's play fair. Like, I just think that when we talk about like from a business, the signs of life for Xbox, sure, like this is as a business, like they're making some smart moves. But in the gaming community, like are gaming sweats really like still choosing Xbox? Because I think over the last year or two, I think there's been a massive drop off where I think a lot of them have already made switches, like the switch to whether it be PlayStation or literally to even just like
or PC.
PC based.
Yeah.
Like I think like that's literally like have a lot of even people who are just casual. Like Call of Duty is the one that you get people who I'm a gamer. You play Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Respectfully, I'm
No,
sorry.
no,
I'm
no, no. You're
again.
right. You're right.
I'm taking the gloves off. It's like I'm not saying that like you don't play video games if you only play Call of Duty, but like yeah, you're a Call of Duty person. So like that's okay. Like it's great. But you're another silo of the community. You're not maybe as somebody as invested or maybe as strategic in your gameplay. And that's okay.
So
But like when it comes to like this, like that was like a big bread and butter for Xbox when they made that Activision deal to try and hopefully get some more exclusivity.
they Black Ops 6 finished as both the best-selling premium video game of December and the 2024 year. So
Right.
so
But I
they're
wonder, is
there.
there any breakdown between
Oh, did
which
you want to see a
that's what I'm very curious. Where are
sales
people playing
by?
it? If there's any way that's being, I don't know how well it's being shared, that data.
Sales by platform. 75% of full price sales were on PS5.
See, I'm not trying. I think if you're playing Xbox and you're and like right now, that's okay. You probably are an Xbox lifer, but you're probably like if you're a deep sweat gamer, you're not on that anymore. I think they've lost a lot of the legit like consistent gaming community, a lot of them already. I think the damage has been already done, dude. Like no matter how much they could have the best
That's
public year, I think it's
yeah.
done.
So the breakdown is 75 on PS4 and PS5, 15% on PC, and 11% on Xbox.
See, man, bro, like if your man's is playing Xbox, I'm sorry. Like I think he's casual. Like I don't think he's like, I'm just
Oh,
saying it, bro. I'm
man.
just saying I
But
don't
what
think
about Game Pass though? Like that's not accounting Game Pass. That's the thing, right?
no, I agree.
So like yeah, the premium sales,
Most
meaning
people
that
didn't buy.
that 75% of the people that bought the full price game with DLC or the full price game base or whatever, right? Was on PS5. So, but we don't know. We don't have numbers of what Game Pass did. We don't know.
True. True.
But at the same time, like we can
Can't be that
speculate. We
good.
can speculate, right? Because like uh what are the console sales today? Let's see if VG charts have anything updated because they
Exactly. Exactly.
I haven't checked VG charts in a very long time. So let's see.
This is gonna be good. I have a feeling this is gonna be very interesting. I'm very,
All
very
right.
interested to see.
So
Especially with just what came out of a holiday.
uh this is current. So current total, right? I don't know when this was updated on VGCharts.com. They have the PS5 at 71.03 million, and the Xbox between X and S at 32.17. So even if half of Xbox's players played it on Game Pass, that would mean that they would still not make the PlayStation number. It would probably meet about halfway. Yeah, it would probably be
like
about there. Yeah,
right. Like you're just filling in the blanks, making the assumption that even like that's
half
the
of
case.
it,
They
right?
may not even be close to that.
Because not even half of Xbox Xbox owners have Game Pass.
Correct.
Let's see.
So there's
No,
way.
let's look for numbers. All right, so
Yeah, we're getting data here.
Game
Facts don't care about
Pass
your feelings, guys. We're just calling it as it is.
subscribers. Okay. They're saying
Ooh, it's got to be like 30%, maybe 25.
So they're saying that Xbox Game Pass has around, and this was the last time that they released numbers. Was February 2024. They said that they have 34 million subscribers, but that's all together. That's Xbox One,
Correct.
Xbox Series X, and PC.
I was gonna
So
say,
that's all
and
together.
PC's probably a huge amount
PC
for
is
like
probably a
the
huge
more
number.
recent, the more, yeah,
Totally. Yeah, PC is probably a huge number because it's a good deal
right.
on PC. It just makes sense. Like if you're a PC
20.
gamer, yeah, get Game Pass. Like straight up.
Yeah,
Just get Game
yeah,
Pass PC
absolutely.
because it's a little bit less or whatever, but it's worth it. I mean, I had it for good about a year, right? And
Right.
it was good. It was good. I don't do it now because I just
Yeah,
I can't find the time to just come back and game with a PC and having a backlog and whatnot. So, um,
right.
yeah, man. It's you know what? I think I had it while when I didn't have a PS5. I had Game Pass on PC, and as soon as I got the PS5, man, I spent a couple of games without
Switch,
a couple of months
switch.
without playing on PC, and I cut it because it's like I'm not using it. So
Right.
yeah, I mean there's gotta be a breakdown somewhere. I'm sure that internally they gotta put these numbers out, but
Probably.
um like we don't really know exactly, but this is just lumping them all together. You would think even if you split them 50-50, right? um that's still not great.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all interesting, but yeah, we'll see. But on the other side, things are not going too hot on PlayStation. um
Yeah.
been canceled. Total of what? 9 games, 7, 9, something like that. And here's my take on this. Right, we all knew, like this was like common. Like I said it here, and we all knew that Jim Ryan was not the best choice to run PlayStation. So this is basically PlayStation putting a cap on the Jim Ryan era of PlayStation and canceling these games that are, you know, arguably a waste of money. And it's unfortunate that these games cost a lot of money, a lot of time. Yeah, they cost a lot of money to the company, right? And they cost a lot of time to very talented developers that could have worked on something else, like the guys at Bluepoint, like Bend, the studio that did Concord, and Concord could have been a good game, right? I think people liked it. It's just that the 10 people that played Concord liked it, Joel. So
Right. Right.
um, and it's clear like that they're following a different vision, and I I I don't know. Like we don't know the state of these games. Like some of these games may have been, halfway done. 3 quarters there, right? Almost like about those, like like ready for like a summer reveal or something like that, right? Um, we don't know the state uh of these games, but I think this is the right choice, man. I'd say they can move around with what they have first party coming out. They can refocus these resources into finishing projects that are already in the works, that are not live service games, and focus on what makes PlayStation PlayStation. I don't know what this push was when they bought Bungie. Let Bungie do their thing, right? Let Bungie cook. They doing their Destiny thing, and I know Destiny ended. Already at like the last upgrade. I think was the last one, last expansion. Let them do their next thing. Like let them come out with something like something new, and that's gonna be your studio that's gonna focus on this type of game, right? And then you can just use these other studios to either I mean, how long have we been asking them to bring back like Siphon Filter and Twisted Metal, and like they're like Twisted Metal is a game that you can make and you can sell for $40. You don't need to make it a full price game.
Exactly.
Yeah, and but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what was going on back then. I know what's going on now. This is like, now, bro. This is all Jim Ryan stuff. Let's not continue it. We saw what happened with Concord. Let's not run the risk. Let's stop the bleeding here, and let's refocus. And that's a good move. That's a good move, right? Microsoft did it a lot of times. Like during the Xbox One era, how many games did they cancel? It's like, remember, it's like, oh, wait until this game come out. Oh, it got canceled. Oh, wait until this game come out. Oh, it got canceled. Oh, wait until Crackdown 3, and then Crackdown 3 comes out, and it's not good. So they would rather just take the hit now than suffer the embarrassment of this game's not doing good later. And they can just refocus the studios into something else. It was the right move. Like, a lot of people see it as an L. I was like, I wasn't going to play any of these games anyway, so I don't care. But yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, the Spider-Man Great Web, I think that sounded pretty fun. That one sounded like it could have been a special online, just experience where, it's a lot of cool characters playable with your friends online. Like, cool.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, they should have just they should have just let. See, here's the thing. Concord should have been free, and then Concord should have been free, and then Marathon. I mean, if Marathon had like a separate campaign, they could have sold Marathon, and together with the online service piece of it, like Destiny, right? So, yeah, I think that's what killed Concord. Concord was killed because the game was $40. This games cannot be $40. These games should be. Look at Marvel, right? Look at even Overwatch, right? I was like, do they even sell Overwatch anymore? Not the first one. The first one's offline. They took that thing down, man. When two came out, that was a bad move. Let's see, Overwatch 2. Overwatch 2 is free. So
kind of reminds me of Destiny. Destiny was kind of that way too.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, Destiny had a single player campaign. It was like a 20, 25-hour thing. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
So, if you have a campaign, right? Sure, yeah. And then you can do your online thing after that. A game has legs. Destiny then became free to play. So,
right.
If Concord, that should have been it, man. They should have been Concord free to play from the start. That was a bad call, man. I don't know. And I know they're probably trying to recoup whatever the studio investment was, but it wasn't worth it. Look at this. Like, it was tragedy, man. It was ridiculous. So, yeah, I don't know if you want to share anything else, but I think overall, I think it was the right move. So,
same.
Wait and see. Joel, when GTA 6 was announced, I had a prediction that this was gonna be the first $99 game. That they were gonna go out, like 2K don't care. They're gonna come out and put this out at a premium. When the game was announced or was revealed, I think they announced like some versions of the game with some pricing. My understanding is that information was like taken down, and now there's speculation and rumors that this could very well be the first $100 game. I mean, okay. You could have found out about this later, later on. But Joe, this is not the first $100 game.
No.
Back in my day, Street Fighter 2 for the SNES when it came out, it was $115. So this was not the first $100 game.
That's crazy, man.
So games have been expensive before, and you know this could have been the first $100 modern game, sure. Um, and just calling it the first $100 game is disingenuous because how much money if you buy Call of Duty Day One, $70. If you buy all the DLC and all the other stuff that they sell you, you're gonna spend like $200. Games are already over $100. You know
Yeah,
what? And
no,
I catch a lot of flack. Like a lot of people out there's like, if the game's gonna be $100, I'm gonna pirate it. Games have been $60, $70 for 25 years, guys. Like I think it's time. It's an unfortunate reality, right? You know, how come a box of cereal is now $7 when back then there used to be three, but games are still $60, and the cost of games and the cost of making games have quadrupled in the last 10 years. Um, Not to mention the amount of people that it takes. Back then back in the PS2 games you could make a PS2 game with 100 people. Now you need 2,000. So we're faced with an unfortunate reality, and at the end of the day, I'm mat- uh, I'm mature enough to accept that reality.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and I know that not a lot of gamers are willing or able. Right, I'm not disparaging anyone that cannot afford $100 game.
Yes.
Um, but I it's time. Like I'm not saying that every game should be $100 because you're not gonna pay $100 for like Pac-Man Championship Edition, right? Like, but when you have something like Spider-Man is a great example, right?
Yeah.
For PS5 and or Spider-Man 2, the Horizon and these games that are not your typical game, right? Yeah, you can still get your 40, 50, 60, $70 game, but Final Fantasy Rebirth, bro, like how is that game $70? Like why are these people just leaving money on the table? At the end of the day, that's companies think like that. It's like, why are we leaving this money out there when we could have just made it?
Yeah.
We could have made 30% more, and we didn't. So, that's going to disparage a lot of people. It's a growing pain. It's a growing pain, and I'm willing to accept it. Again, this is probably not going to affect every game, but for the multi-million, quadruple A game like GTA 6 and Spider-Man, and I don't know what Microsoft like the next like Halo or whatever Microsoft's doing, like Gears, maybe, right? Um, it's an unfortunate reality, and it's gonna happen. Like it's already happening. You guys are not. They're just selling you the game by piece, piece by piece. But it's already happened. You just guys didn't want to see it that way, but it's already here. But that's how I feel, man, about that. How do you feel?
Yeah. The rumors started seeing those pop up more, and I was like, well, this is vindication for Obed. Like, not that you needed it because you know what you're talking about. And like you mentioned,
More right than more
there's
video
already
game analysts out there.
exactly. Like if anything, when I look at something like this, like you were saying, like technically speaking, yes, we've already been getting games that basically are in the same price range. It's just because of like they try and sell it to you as different pieces, like you mentioned, whether it be DLC and other different like add-ons and things that you'll need to make it the full complete experience for the game. That way, you don't miss anything. And a lot of people when they go to pre-orders, they'll purposely add these things on that kind of get you already to that price point. I could tell you, I've had that experience recently where there was a not even recently, but last year a game that I purchased that had a significant amount of add-ons. And I was like, well, it got you there. Um,
Yeah.
and so like like you're saying, it's pretty common now. My thought about it though is if at the base cost GTA is 100, that means you're gonna be past that with DLC and stuff. Like this game's gonna have a ton of different content. I think that's what's like more of like the pill for some people to swallow is like the understanding that you're gonna be spending over $100, like most likely just with this game alone. And so yeah, it's a huge deal for a lot of
Yeah.
people because a lot of I mean, let's face it, it's like one the best selling game of all time. So
Yeah.
like you're gonna have a lot of people who are jumping back into buying a new console just for this game. There are gonna be people who maybe I haven't played since PlayStation 3, like anything, and I'm gonna finally go back because there's a new GTA, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh, moly, this is expensive," That's the people that get the
Yeah.
most shocking reaction. But the people who have already been around this, and we just had that whole rant about the casuals and that conversation, like those, like I said, those people already have moved over,
Yeah.
and they know what the pricing is
Yeah.
currently.
You know,
So it's interesting.
what would be hilarious, right? And this is just my take on it. I can see like younger gamers that are, uh, not making a lot of money. They're still working
Yes.
with, they still live with their parents. They're young. They're still like the kid gamer, right? It's like the
Yeah.
12 to 17-year-old that wants to buy this game. It's $100, right? It's a lot of money. So
Well,
that
first of all, you're gonna need your parents to buy this if
that
you're
was
under a
right,
certain age.
right.
Even if you're,
Oh, right.
even if you got
I'm
the
not
money.
advocating that a 12-year-old would play
Yeah,
GTA.
I know what you're saying. I know what
Yeah,
you're saying.
but
Yeah.
right. So that right, and I can totally see that, right? Um, Let me put my old I'm putting my old man hat on, and I'm putting my dad hat on, and going back to all these old gamers with kids that go, oh, $100, I'm not gonna play it, I'm gonna pirate it, bro. Gamer dad, that's out there. You're complaining about this game being $100. How much has your kid spent on Roblox?
Right. Right.
You know, how much has your kid spent on Fortnite?
You'd be surprised.
Right? So,
Even Apex, bro. Like I'm hearing stories of people how much money they spent on Apex, and
right?
like, there's no way.
Yeah. Like I'm sure that there's people spending a ton of money on Rivals.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm sure like, oh, I gotta have all the skins, right? I gotta get all, right? And but when you think about it like that, it's like, dude, your kids probably spend like $300-400 on Roblox, and you're complaining about on freaking Roblox. That's like a nothing game. Just wander around playing mini games, and you're complaining about a quadruple A, game that could take you a couple hundred hours to beat, with more than likely an infinite online mode that you can play it for infinite hours. So at some point we gotta realize that, right? It's like you're not getting. This is not Galaga. Like this is like you're purchasing a small miracle, basically, when you buy a
Yeah.
game like this.
Yeah.
So just trying to put things into perspective, right? I'm past that.
Well, let's see what the price of this new Switch is even going to be. That's going to be a big wake up
They're
for a
saying
lot
it's
of people.
400. Like rumors, it says it's gonna be
Really?
400. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, which is interesting because the OLED's 350, but they've been they've been balling on those switches since day one, man. They don't want to lower those prices. Yeah, I think They could. I don't think Nintendo will go like 500 on it.
I know that was supposedly like the rumors at first. It was like, yo, you're
Yeah.
gonna, because like specs and stuff, and I was like, ah.
Maybe
But yeah,
that's
they just want.
that's that could be part of the reasoning to wait. Could be just like we just need to wait until manufacturing goes down because we're not gonna
Yeah,
do this, right?
could be, could be.
So
You're not
look
wrong.
what happened to the 3DS. Remember when 3DS came out? It was like 275 or something,
Right,
and everyone was like, "No, man, this thing's too expensive." And then Reggie was like, "No, let's cut the price, 199 or whatever," and they cut the
right.
price like right away. So they're not gonna risk that happening. I think the Switch OLED has sold really really well. So they're saying that that price, that 350 price, they can push it, right? So maybe another 50, you can just go ahead and get the new one. Makes me wonder though, what's gonna happen to the remaining stock of the Switch. So is that gonna get like cut? Because I was like, I'm not gonna spend 350 if I can get on an OLED if I can have the new one for 100. So what's gonna happen to that? And I was like, is the old one gonna go away? And the OLED's gonna go down to 299 for the rest of inventory. Who knows? But yeah, man. I mean, it's an interesting conversation to be had for sure. There's definitely, I'm not like if you disagree with my take, right? I don't blame you because it's completely, you know, it just depends on there's something that just it's not the same for everyone. But the way I see it, right? The way I see cost of development, the kind of experience that you're getting when you're putting all these things together. I mean, it just I think the I think PlayStation could have easily gone up to like $79.99 on their game on their like premier games instead of $69.99.
Yeah, yeah.
They could have easily done that. So they didn't. Maybe they will. I don't know. But yeah, and now that Blu-ray manufacturer is getting cost, I don't know if you saw that too.
I'm dead.
And the Ninja Gaiden Black, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is not it's coming out on physical for PS5 and not on Xbox. Like Xbox is not doing it. Like they're done with
Yeah.
physical, dude. Like they're not
Why?
gonna stand. They're not gonna print anything anymore. You're gonna Game Pass it. That's it. But yeah, man.
Obed though,
Yeah.
before we go, I do one other thing that I'm assuming you probably saw too about some of the leaks that came out earlier today about supposedly PlayStation 6 coming 2027 due to some chipset leaks. Did you see this?
Um. Okay. I didn't see the leaks, but I talked to someone that knows so.
Hey, I get
Shame,
it.
right?
Yep.
I talked to someone that sort of thing. That those chips are already being tested
Mm,
for specifically
mm.
for PS6. So
Interesting.
yeah, I think it's
Supposedly
2020.
they're saying 20,
I think
2027.
I think it's 2028.
Which I would prefer that.
Yeah,
I would prefer a 2028, but
because
regardless,
they're
closer
gonna
to
just
the
do
end
the
of the decade.
yeah they're just gonna ride the Pro until then.
Yeah.
And because I think that the Pro gives them a little bit of leeway. I think Xbox is coming out next year with whatever they're doing. Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah. I think Xbox is coming out early. I don't think Xbox is doing a mid-gen refresh. They're gonna just go full blown. Whatever this thing costs, we're gonna sell it for like
Well,
$700, $800. So
2026, you think, for them?
for Xbox, yeah.
Yeah, I'm putting
PlayStation,
that
I'm
into
still
prediction.
standing by 2028, but 2027 doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility. So,
Okay.
yeah. Take the notes, sir. uh, let's go.
I got it. We're good.
Yeah, we're good. All right, man. We'll see what happens, sir. That is what
What
we
we
got
got?
for this week. Let's go ahead and wrap it up.
Good show. Good show. Everyone, thank you so much for sticking with us. We encourage you to stay tuned, stay subscribed to No Load Time on podcast platforms of your choice. We're on SoundCloud, Spotify, Amazon Music. Find us, subscribe to us. We'd really appreciate it. You also can go ahead and subscribe to the video version of No Load Time on like our YouTube channel, No Load Time on YouTube. You can subscribe to the videos, subscribe to the channel rather. Like those videos, drop a comment. All the support really helps us out. So thank you so much for being there with us. And then additionally, if you would also follow us on social media at No Load Time. If you're watching the video version, you can see down below all the places that we're at. Find us, follow us on social media. You also can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/no load time. That's patreon.com/no load time. As little as $1 a month. You can support our show. Shout out to Tony, who's a producer of the show. We appreciate you.
Hanging out in the chat right now.
Hanging out. We love that. We love that. And so like, yeah, man, like we're totally, it's so funny. Like that comment right there, that's literally exactly what I was thinking as I was like, little Billy's going to say like, I'm going to get GTA or am I going to go to Epic Universe? Like, 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 is that like, it's like the conversation you're having now. And I understand, I get it.
Right.
But think about the replay value, Epic Universe is once and, GTA, you'll be playing that, quite a significant amount of time.
Hours.
Right. So the investment, take it as you will.
Right.
But yeah, make sure you all are continuing to stay tuned, stay subscribed. We'll have some new episode hopefully next week. We're talking about possibly doing a live stream of us playing some Rivals and talking shop at the same time. But stay tuned for more.
Cool. All right. You guys stay safe. Have a great weekend. We will see you again next time.
See ya.